Ladies, before the world dims its lights and the silence of night sets in, I want you to ask yourself something powerful. Who are you becoming in the dark? Because that moment, right before sleep, that sacred time when the world finally gets quiet, that's your time. That's when you stop performing. That's when the makeup's off, the noise is gone, and it's just you and your truth. And if you're not using that time to reconnect with the woman you are becoming, then you're letting the world write your story for you. So tonight, and every night after, I want you to follow a few rules. Not rules made by society, not rules made by perfection or pressure, but rules that bring you back to you. Rule 1. Forgive yourself for not being perfect today. You're not a robot. You're not a machine. You're a human being, beautifully flawed, gloriously evolving. So give yourself grace. You don't owe anyone a flawless performance. You owe yourself peace. Rule 2. Put your phone down and pick your power back up. You don't need to scroll your way to sleep. You need silence, stillness, a moment to feel, reflect. Read something that nourishes you. Write something honest. Listen to the thoughts you've been ignoring all day. Because inside your own mind lies the map to your future. Rule 3. Speak to yourself like you'd speak to your best friend. You would never tell your best friend she's not enough, right? So stop telling that to yourself. Before sleep, say something loving, something real. I'm proud of you. You made it through. Tomorrow, we rise again. Words shape reality. And your reality starts in your own voice. Rule 4. Visualize your next level. Not the one society expects from you, the one you want. Close your eyes and see her. The woman who owns her voice, who sets boundaries like a queen, who walks into every room like she belongs there. Because she does. Because she's you, just one decision away. And rule 5, thank the day, even if it broke you. Because strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in cracks. The days that felt too heavy, they carved something deeper in you. So say, thank you. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the fight. Thank you for the chance to try again tomorrow. My beautiful warriors, this world will try to exhaust you. It will try to shrink you. But when you own your nights, you take back your power. When you rest with intention, you rise with purpose. So tonight, don't just sleep. Reset, reclaim, rise, because the world doesn't need another burnt out woman chasing someone else's dream. It needs you, rested, radiant, and completely in love with her own becoming. Sleep like a queen, wake like a revolution. Every night, as the world grows quiet and the lights dim, there's a sacred moment waiting for you. A moment to forgive yourself. A moment to stop carrying the weight of everything you thought you should have done better. We live in a world that glorifies productivity and perfection, but the truth is, no one gets it all right every day. You tried, you gave what you could, and that is enough. Before you close your eyes, give yourself permission to let go. Let go of the missteps, the awkward moments, the things you wish you'd said differently. You're not here to be flawless. You're here to be real. And real women forgive themselves not because they failed, but because they're evolving. When you hold on to guilt, You carry it into your dreams. It leaks into your confidence, your energy, your ability to rise. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It's a power move. It's a statement that says, I am still worthy, even in my mess. Think of all the things you did right today. The strength it took to show up. The kindness you shared. The effort you made even when it went unnoticed. You are not the voice in your head that says you're not enough. You are the soul who's still standing, still fighting, still healing. And that deserves a moment of grace before rest. You've been taught to give grace to others, to apologize, to be soft. But how often do you offer that same tenderness to yourself? Tonight, I want you to stop that silent war in your mind. Stop replaying your mistakes like a broken record. Instead, speak to yourself like someone who matters. Because you do. Tell yourself, I forgive you. Say it out loud if you have to. There is strength in softness. There is healing in honesty. You can't build a future on a foundation of self-blame. Lay bricks of self-acceptance instead. The truth is, every mistake made you wiser. Every failure gave you depth. Every moment you stumbled was a moment life was stretching you towards something greater. Growth doesn't happen in straight lines. It happens in spirals, in breakdowns, in quiet nights, when you choose compassion over criticism. The world doesn't see these moments, but they matter. This is where you build your resilience. In choosing to forgive yourself, you reclaim your power. You decide that your story is still yours to shape, on your own terms. Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened, but it transforms how you carry it. You no longer drag your past behind you like a chain. You walk forward with wisdom. Each night is a chance to shed the old skin, to stop dragging yesterday's weight into tomorrow's potential. This is your life. Not a performance, not a checklist, but a beautifully imperfect journey. And the strongest thing you can do is close your eyes, knowing you're not at war with yourself anymore. So before you drift into dreams, do this: place your hand on your heart. Breathe deep. Remind yourself that you are not broken. You are becoming. You are allowed to be unfinished and still be proud. This is what powerful women do. They own their flaws, honor their growth, and end the day with grace. You don't need the world's permission to rest in peace with yourself. You only need your own. We live in a world that never stops talking. Notifications, scrolling, buzzing. There's always something begging for your attention. And without realizing it, you become a passenger in your own life, endlessly reacting instead of consciously living. Every time you reach for your phone before bed, you invite the world into your sacred space. The chaos of headlines, the noise of opinions, the endless loop of other people's lives. It all seeps into your spirit, cluttering your mind with distractions that don't belong to you. But there's a power in choosing silence, in choosing yourself. When you put the phone down, you give yourself a rare gift: presence. There's a version of you that only exists when the world quiets down. She's thoughtful, she's calm, she's clear. But she gets buried under filters and feeds under other people's voices and validations. Disconnecting isn't about being anti-technology. It's about being pro-you. It's about remembering who you are when the world isn't looking. Because in the stillness of night, your inner voice gets louder. And that voice, it holds the answers, the clarity, the dreams you've been too busy to notice. You don't find yourself by constantly consuming. You find yourself by creating space to be alone with your truth. The most confident, self-aware women you'll ever meet aren't addicted to noise. They're grounded in their inner peace. They know that no amount of likes or views will replace the feeling of being aligned with who they are. So instead of ending your night with someone else's story, end it with your own. Journal. Meditate. Listen to music that heals you. Sit with your emotions. Let the silence speak to you. Because when you stop filling every quiet moment with distractions, you start filling it with self-respect. It might feel strange at first, uncomfortable even. We're so used to reaching for our phones when we're tired, anxious, or bored. But healing doesn't happen when you're numbing. It happens when you're present. When you can sit with yourself without needing to escape. That's where the magic begins. That's where self-trust grows. It's in those few minutes of intentional stillness where you start to understand your own patterns, your desires, your dreams. You stop performing. You start being. Every woman deserves a moment at the end of her day that belongs only to her. Not her boss, not her partner, not the internet, just her. It's in that sacred pause where you recharge, where your nervous system resets, where your heart rate slows, and your mind starts to breathe. You can't pour into others if you're running on fumes. And often, the reason we feel drained isn't because we're doing too much. It's because we're never truly alone with ourselves. We're constantly plugged into something. So tonight, unplug to plug back in to your intuition, your peace, your strength. Let the night become your sanctuary, not another screen time session. Let it be where your spirit resets and your confidence rebuilds. Disconnect to reconnect to your purpose, your voice, your essence. The woman you want to become isn't out there in someone else's post. She's in here, waiting for you to show up. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to put the world on pause so you can finally press play on yourself. When the world finally quiets down and you're left with just your thoughts, the voice that echoes the loudest is your own. And yet, so many women speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. We're quick to criticize, to pick apart, to replay everything we think we messed up during the day. But what if, instead, you chose to end your day with kindness? What if you became your own encourager instead of your own enemy? That voice inside you, it can either build you or break you. And the way you speak to yourself before sleep has the power to influence how you rise the next morning. You don't need permission to be proud of yourself. You don't need a gold star or a round of applause to recognize the effort you put in today. You were strong. You were brave. You faced things no one else even noticed. And instead of focusing on what went wrong, take a breath and acknowledge what went right. Did you keep going when it got hard? Did you stay kind when it would have been easier to be cold? Did you show up even when you felt invisible? that matters. You matter. And the words you speak to yourself at night should reflect that truth. Think of how powerful it would be if every night you said to yourself, "I'm proud of you." Not just when things go perfectly, especially when they don't. That's when you need compassion the most. Because being hard on yourself won't make you better. It will only make you tired. Self-love isn't a luxury. It's your foundation. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Start small. A single sentence of kindness. A moment of gratitude for your resilience. A reminder that you are doing your best. And that's enough. We've been conditioned to believe that humility means downplaying our worth. But there's nothing arrogant about recognizing your value. It's not vanity. It's sanity. When you look in the mirror at the end of the day, you should see a woman who fought, who tried, who cared. Even if things didn't go as planned, even if you made mistakes, you're still worthy of your own kindness. You deserve to be spoken to with the same tenderness you offer everyone else. You are not less because you're still healing. You are not broken because you're still becoming. Let the space between who you are and who you want to be filled with gentleness. Every word you say to yourself writes the story you live in. So write something beautiful, something affirming, something real. This isn't about ignoring your flaws. It's about refusing to weaponize them against yourself. It's about saying, "Yes, I'm imperfect, but I'm still worthy. I'm still strong. I'm still me." And that version of you, the one who can stand in her truth and speak kindly to herself, is unstoppable. So tonight, let the final words you hear be your own, and let them be filled with love. Whisper encouragement into the silence. Wrap yourself in the warmth of your own approval. You don't have to wait for the world to tell you you're enough. You already are. Speak like you believe in the woman you're becoming, because she's listening. And she's becoming stronger every time you choose kindness over criticism. There's something sacred about the stillness before sleep. It's the one time of day where no one is demanding anything from you. No roles to play. No expectations to meet. Just you and the darkness. And in that space, you hold the power to create. Not just dreams, but visions. Not just fantasies, but futures. This is your time to meet the version of yourself who's already living the life you crave. The woman who walks with certainty, who radiates peace, who owns her story unapologetically. She exists, and every night, you have a chance to step into her skin, even if just in your mind. Close your eyes and don't just imagine her. Feel her. What does her presence feel like? What energy does she carry when she enters a room? How does she carry herself when no one is watching? Is she softer, bolder, more joyful? Is her life quieter or louder than yours today? Don't hold back. Let your imagination run wild. Because that woman isn't a fantasy. She's a reflection of your highest self. And the more vividly you can see her, the more clearly you'll start becoming her. Your brain doesn't know the difference between visualization and reality. So when you dream it deeply enough, you start living it subconsciously. This is not about chasing perfection. It's about connecting to the truest, most empowered version of who you already are. The woman who sets boundaries without guilt, who chooses herself daily, who speaks her truth and stands tall even when it's uncomfortable. She's not someone you have to create from scratch. She's already inside you. Visualizing her each night is how you bring her forward. Step by step, decision by decision, breath by breath, you begin aligning your actions with her energy, because she's not far away. She's waiting for you to meet her halfway. Let your nightly visualization become your ritual, a quiet rebellion against the noise of doubt and fear. As the world goes to sleep, you're wide awake inside your own future. You're designing it, claiming it, breathing life into it. Don't underestimate the power of seeing your dreams clearly. Most people never become who they want to be because they don't slow down long enough to imagine it. But you're different. You know that seeing it in your mind is the first step to building it in real life. You know that clarity breeds confidence. And when you wake up the next morning, you won't be waking up as the same woman who went to sleep. You'll be carrying her energy, her focus, her calm. You'll walk a little straighter, speak a little firmer, move a little wiser. Why? Because you've already met her. You know her heartbeat. You know her strength. You're no longer chasing someone else's version of success. You're becoming the woman you were always meant to be. And she feels right, like home, like truth, like destiny. So tonight, before your head hits the pillow, ask yourself this: who am I becoming? And then answer it with your whole heart. Visualize it in color. Feel it in your bones. Let it excite you. Let it heal you. Because the woman you're working toward, she's already watching you with pride. She knows you're closer than you think. And every time you choose to see her clearly, you take one step closer to living her life fully. Gratitude isn't just for the good days. It's not reserved for the moments when everything goes your way, when life feels light and laughter comes easy. True gratitude, deep soul level gratitude, shows up when things are messy, when the tears fall quietly behind closed doors, when the weight of the world feels unbearable. It's in those moments where your strength is being built, where character is being carved, and where growth is silently unfolding beneath the surface. Saying thank you in those moments isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's choosing to believe that even this, even now, is shaping you into someone stronger. The hard days aren't failures. They're forging fires. They push you, stretch you, and call things out of you that comfort never could. It's easy to be grateful when life is soft. But when you can look at your struggles and still whisper, thank you, you've unlocked something powerful, because every disappointment taught you something about resilience. Every closed door redirected you. Every challenge reminded you that you can survive what you thought would break you. That's not just survival, that's becoming. And becoming is never easy, but it is always worth it. So many women carry shame for their hard days, for the breakdowns, the doubts, the moments where it felt like they lost themselves. But what if those moments weren't setbacks at all? What if they were setups? making room for your next level. The truth is, you don't grow through pretending everything's fine. You grow by facing the storm and saying, I'm still here. You grow by acknowledging the pain, sitting with it, learning from it, and choosing to keep going anyway. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, but it transforms the way you carry it. When you say thank you for your struggles, you reclaim your story. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the author of your life. You realize that nothing was wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the rejection, not the long nights spent questioning everything. Every piece of it was part of your evolution. And when you reflect on those moments with gratitude, you take your power back. You're no longer defined by what happened to you. You're defined by how you rose from it. At the end of each day, take a moment to look back, not just on what went right, but on what challenged you, what tested you, what tried to dim your light but didn't succeed. Those are the moments that matter most. That's where your strength lies. Be proud of the woman who held herself together even when it would have been easier to fall apart. Be proud of the woman who chose to believe in something better, even when all she had was hope. That kind of gratitude, that quiet acknowledgement of your own power, is what fuels transformation. So as you lay your head down tonight, don't just thank the day for its smiles. Thank it for its struggles. Thank it for the grit it demanded, the patience it required, the endurance it pulled from you. You didn't just survive today. You grew, you learned. You stepped 1 inch closer to the woman you're meant to be. And that alone is something to be deeply, unapologetically grateful for. Every night is a quiet return to yourself, a sacred pause between who you were and who you're becoming. When you forgive yourself, disconnect from the world, speak to yourself with love, visualize your next level, and find gratitude even in your hardest moments. You're not just preparing for sleep, you're preparing for growth. These aren't just nightly rituals, they're acts of self-respect. They're declarations that say, I choose to rise, not just in the morning, but in who I am becoming. Because you are not defined by what today took from you. You are defined by how gently and powerfully you return to yourself in the dark. These rules are not restrictions. They're reminders that your peace is yours to protect, that your energy is sacred, that your dreams are valid, and that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you build with the woman in the mirror. So tonight, choose you. All of you. The tired you, the trying you, the healing you, the growing you. Lay down the weight. Pick up your worth. Sleep with intention, wake with purpose. And remember, every strong, radiant, unstoppable woman